Welcome to First and Second Hour Science. Today is Thursday, April 16th, 2020. Today's assignment is 7.12, Plant Hormones. Questions for today's reading. Number 1, what are 3 stimuli that plants respond to? Number 2, list the roles of gibberellins. Number 3, what hormone is involved in fruit ripening? Number 4, what happens to an unripe fruit when placed in a paper bag with a ripe fruit? Number 5, what is apical dominance? Okay, so plants may not move to where we actually see them, but that does not mean that they do not respond to their environment. Plants can sense gravity, light, touch, and seasonal changes. You may have noticed how a houseplant will bend towards the light and then grow toward the source of light. Hormones are special chemical messenger molecules that help organisms, including plants, respond to stimuli in their environment. In order for plants to respond to the environment, their cells must be able to communicate with other cells. Hormones send messages between the cells. Animals, like humans, also have hormones such as testosterone or estrogen to carry messages from cell to cell. So there are 5 different types of plant hormones. In your reading, if you have any questions that you're struggling with about what plant hormone does what, the chart in the middle of your page is where you're going to look for your answers. Mine is pretty marked up. However, that's the little chart that explains what all of the hormones, what their function is. So there are 5 different types of plant hormones involved in the main responses of plants, and they each have different functions. I'm going to start at the top, the hormone ethylene. The function is fruit ripening and abscission. Abscission is when it loses all the outer covering that has kept it safe up until it's ready to be a full plant. Gibberellins, they break the dormancy of seeds and buds and promote growth. Cytokinins promote cell division, prevent senescence. Abscisic acid is close to the stomata. It maintains dormancy. Auxins, involved in tropism and apical dominance. That's what auxins, the function auxins provide. So the hormone ethylene has 2 functions. 1, it helps fruit ripen. 2, it is involved in the process of abscission, which is the dropping of leaves, fruits, and flowers. When a flower is done blooming or a fruit is ripe and ready to be eaten, ethylene causes the petals or fruit to fall from a plant. Ethylene is an unusual plant hormone because it is a gas. That means it can flow through the air, and a ripening apple can cause another apple to ripen or over-ripen very quickly. That's why the saying, "one rotten apple spoils a whole barrel," is really true. Some farmers spray their green peppers with ethylene gas to cause them to ripen faster and become red peppers. Makes me want to get some of this ethylene. Every year I plant tomatoes, and they make beautiful tomatoes, but they never ripen, and I end up losing. And I've tried. People say take them off, wrap them in newspaper, store them in a dark place, and they'll ripen. And some do, but they're not as good. And so maybe if I had some of that ethylene and I sprayed my tomatoes, they would ripen quicker. It's a thought. Okay, so gibberellins are hormones that cause a plant to grow. The stems grow longer. Some gardeners or horticulture scientists add gibberellins to increase the growth of the plant. Dwarf plants, however, they're small plants on the other hand, they have low levels of gibberellins. Another function of gibberellins is to stop dormancy, which is the resting time of seeds and buds. Gibberellins signal that it's time for a seed to germinate, which is sprout, or for a bud to open. Water your plants. Cytokinins are hormones that cause plant cells to divide. Cytokinins prevent the process of aging, which is senescence. So florists sometimes apply cytokinins to cut flowers so they do not get old and die. Auxins are hormones that play a role in plant growth. Auxins produced at the tip of the plant are involved in apical dominance. That's when the main central stem grows more strongly than other stems and branches. Some people call those the taproot. That's what I've heard before. I've actually heard that if you cut the taproot, that it'll damage the plant. What I'm reading now, what I've learned today, is that it actually forces more branches to grow, which could also open the door for more fruit. So it'll just cause more branches to grow and the tree to bush out more. So in summary, plant hormones are chemical signals that control different processes in plants. Plant hormones include ethylene, gibberellins, cytokines, abscisic acid, and auxins. That concludes our lesson for today. Have a great day and a wonderful weekend. Miss you guys. Watch the videos. We put a special video on for you guys. You got to see it. Have a great day.